Graham, thank you ever so much for doing this.
No problem.
Are you all still buzzing after the dramatic end to the West Ham game?
Well, we're sort of back into work and back into preparing for the game. Of course, it's a nice moment for us to get the equaliser in the manner we did. But as we know, you have to move on quickly because we've got a game on Saturday against Southampton. So we're preparing for that, recovering and preparing for the game.
Neil had to do post-match interviews as you'd expect. So I presume he was sort of delayed coming back into the dressing room. Was everyone in there when he did walk in? Was that a nice moment? Did they give him a good reception?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's nice to celebrate together whenever you feel that you've got something to celebrate. And like I said, the manner of the equaliser and to get something from the game when you take into consideration everything that happened in the game, it was nice for the boys to have that moment together.
Just one more looking back before I look forward, if that's all right. I wondered what if you could give us a little bit about Neil's character. If he talked about how he's had he's not enjoyed the run of games without a goal. Is he someone who carries those emotions very publicly, shows when he's very much enjoying himself and when he's finding things a bit tougher?
Well, it's something that he's been working on. I think, as I mentioned before, the challenge of this league and the challenge, especially when you're playing as a forward, is you can go games without scoring. It can happen. I can name other players of higher profile than Neil that are going without goals. So it's just the nature of the competition, and then how you deal with it as a human being is just the process you have to go through to develop, to become a better player, a better person, and that's something we've been helping him with.
You obviously finished with 10 men yesterday because of the injuries, and is there any good news on the injury front ahead of the trip to St Mary's?
There's no good news, but no bad news either. Still early days in terms of assessing everything. So nothing to really report other than all those three will be not available for the weekend. But apart from that, the extent of the injury, I haven't got any information yet.
How about Southampton? What have you made of them in recent weeks?
Good. I like Southampton. I like what they do. There's real clarity there. You can see always what they're trying to do. Really impressive in the build-up. Really impressive in how they get to the final third. I'm sure they'll get better and better as they adjust to each other, because obviously Danny Ings has moved on. They've had replacements there. Armstrong's done well for them. Their identity in terms of how they defend, how they press is really, really clear and good. So it's always a tough game, but another game we're looking forward to. 3 games in a week. Same for both teams. Both teams have had a busy schedule, so it's the final game of the week. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Nick Bamford. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Jeremy, I think you're on there. You seem to have dropped off and come.
Yeah, I am now.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, Graham, I know you were asked about this last night, but Mopé on 89 versus West Ham, or your Handbatch on 84 against Chelsea, which was your favourite?
Well, they were both nice moments. I think I don't like to compare. I think when I look back, that there'll be 2 really nice goals. I think both were there, as I said last night, were the 1-1. It's a 1-1 game. Ali's was probably a little bit more dynamic, I think, in terms of his movement, but I was right behind Neil's, so I could see it from the connection, and it was just fantastic finish. So I'm going to sit on the fence and say I liked them both.
I mean, every time you look at that Mopé goal again, it looks even better and better and better. I mean, does he practice bicycle kicks to get a finish like that? I mean, that doesn't come by accident, does it?
I think it does, yeah, because I haven't seen him practicing those ones, generally, to be fair. Maybe that's the secret. I just don't practice at all, and then it just you put finishes away like that. I mean, it's great. It's instinct, isn't it? It's what it is. And often the instinctive finish is sometimes not the easier ones, but I think that's the trick of everything really, is to try to players not thinking too much and just to trust their instinct, because when they do that, you can see the quality that he has.
Fair to say that's going to turbocharge his confidence going to Southampton?
Well, it won't do it any harm, that's for sure. I mean, I think more, it's lots of things. It's the goal, but it's also the fact that you can come through, you can deal with the criticism, you can deal with the pressure, and you can respond as a human being. That gives you a lot of, it should give him a lot of pride, I think, because it's not easy. As much as we think it is, it isn't, because he's a guy, he's a footballer, but he's also a person and a human being. So nice for him to come through that and score, and then hopefully he can kick on from there.
And we could see obviously how much you enjoyed it too. It was quite a contrast, wasn't it? Full time at West Ham last night with full time against Leeds. I mean, what were your feelings at the end with the Brighton fans there?
No, it was great. I mean, I really enjoyed their support all through the game. They were fantastic. Our away supporters have always been brilliant, to be honest. And it was nice for them because they got behind the team all night and they celebrated with Neil and they celebrated with the team. And I think that's, even though we didn't win, it was just a nice moment together to celebrate, to enjoy a result that I think we all thought we deserved, and in challenging circumstances against a really good team. West Ham are in a really good moment, and they're I think in the top four. So nice moment together.
What did David Moyes say to you after, Graham?
No, just well done and all the best. He was doing press, so I speaking with Stuart Pearce a little bit after the game. It's just the normal stuff. I was really impressed with. I told them I'm really impressed with what they've done there. It's fantastic. Really impressed with how they set the team up. Declan Rice and Thomas Souček defend the box really, really well, and just really impressed with the job that Davey's done.
It was more excellence too from Tariq Lamptey to set up the goal. We're a year out from his injury last December. He's still only started a handful of Premier League games. I mean, how far away is he from being a permanent starter again, would you say? Because he's showing glimpses, isn't he, of what he can produce?
Yeah, we're just going to go through in a period now, Jeremy, where we're going to play lots of games in a relatively short space of time. So that's the only thing that's going to stop the regularity of Tariq. I mean, we all know his qualities. We all know what he brings to the team. It's just the close proximity of games will challenge him and challenge us in terms of how much he plays and when he plays.
Just finally, Graham, you're a point above Man United. Obviously, tonight Ralph Rangnick's at Old Trafford before taking over the reins completely from Michael Carrick. What do you think the Rangnick effect's going to be at Old Trafford, and do you expect him to galvanise United?
Well, I'll have to be honest, I've not given it too much thought, but I think Ralph Rangnick's a very, very experienced football person, great coach by all accounts. I've never met him, never come across him, so I don't know, but from everything that I hear and everything that I've seen from his teams, how he's involved in structuring football clubs, I'm sure it'll be a huge asset for Manchester United.
Thanks so much, Graham. Cheers.
Hi there, Graham. I just wonder, in all the drama at the end yesterday, whether potentially it was lost to the thought of some of those saves that Robert Sanchez made in the game, quite crucial.
Yeah, I mean, he made a couple of saves, particularly at the end. He didn't probably have the best of first halves by his standards. And then it's nice for him to come through that and then help us in the second half, because I think he did then. He was really, really good. And we just speak about it all the time. He's a young goalkeeper, and sometimes you have to go through this process. But we're really, really happy with Rob, and it was nice that he contributed to the team getting a point. I think the West Ham goalkeeper did the same. So good for him.
In terms of the injuries, that's 3 people out for Saturday. Does that leave room in terms of bringing in maybe under 23s, or is there other players like Roberts, Richards who could come into contention?
No, well, exactly. I mean, we've got those guys, Aaron Connolly as well. I mean, we're hoping to get a little bit of time on the under 23s in terms of minutes for him, but it looks like he'll just be with the group come the weekend. So we've got some. We'll see how everybody is. We're still in the process of just recovering everybody and just checking everything over. So make some more decisions tomorrow. If we need the under-23s, we can of course use them. But at the moment, it doesn't look like we'll need to.
Okay. And in terms of Southampton, Jay Adams has started to hit a bit of form, and it's taken time for him, hasn't it? Just goes to show, a bit like Neil, really, that sometimes you need to be patient with players.
Oh, time to be patient, Johnny, in this world, huh? We don't need patience. What? Yeah, well, we played against Che for Birmingham when he was at Birmingham, so saw his ability then. To be honest, really liked him there. Strong, powerful boy. You can see come through a different path into the top level, and I'm not surprised that he's doing well. Like you said, I think the first season he was a bit in and out, but taking a bigger role in the team. So yeah, it's nice. I mean, footballers don't just emerge as top players just all of a sudden. There's always a process. There's always games they have to play. You can name any player you want. They haven't always been the player you think they are now. They've gone through steps to get there. And as I've said, that's what we'll try to do here with the guys we have. I think we've got an exciting group, lots of players that can keep getting better. We just have to try and give them the best conditions to do that.
You say every game is different in the Premier League, every team is different. What challenge does Southampton pose?
Like I said, they've got real clarity. They always have since Ralph's taken over. Real clarity in terms of how they're building up, how they want to attack. With Ward-Prowse and Romeo in midfield, really good controlling midfield players that give them a real structure to their play. You can totally see what they're trying to do. And defensively, yeah, they can incredibly compact, press really well. So again, I think a really well coached, well organised team that have an understanding of what they're doing as a collective, and then some good individual players that are probably just getting better and better the more they're together. So a tough game.